everybody, and welcome to what's fast becoming the most depressing day of the week, if it wasn't already. Monday mornings, live stroll with Azra, and I've got some breaking news for you guys. It is raining, not significantly, but it's drizzling quite steadily now actually. With the amount of weather we've had over the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks, this will be welcome, but it's not significant really. But it wasn't forecast is the point. So yeah, and it's a very cool 14 degrees as well, so pleasant conditions for our little light stroll this morning. Come on, Azra. So what's everybody up to today? Is it a normal work day, leisure day, nothing day? Are you on holiday? Are you going on holiday? All the normal questions we like to ask. For me, normal work day today. I think Julia's exactly the same. Then James resumes pre-season training tonight. Personally, I think it's a bit early to be starting really, but you don't have to go, and that's ultimately the reality of it, isn't it? You know, he'll go tonight, but there's another session on Wednesday. I don't think he'll be going on Wednesday. I don't think a lot of people will be going Wednesday with the England game. So, and he does need to start sort of redefining his muscles and everything ready for the new season. He has been doing some weights at home because this season is, I think they need to tone themselves. Enough about that. We'll have loads of time to talk about that when it all starts in September. I still don't feel a lot more awake today than I did yesterday. If you were with me, we were out a bit later, not a lot later, about 6 o'clock yesterday, after the England match on Saturday night. I didn't stay up for the Argentina-Switzerland game, obviously. Clearly I know the result. Clearly I know Wednesday night. Battle commences between England and Argentina, and there's always that bit of needle for obvious reasons, isn't there? So it is what it is. Go on, Azra, lead on. Come on, good girl. And it's the first time they were saying, and Messi actually said it himself actually, that he would have played England. Who knew? When you think possibly the last few major tournaments England have got to sort of semi-finals, but then when you look at it actually, 2 of those were Euros, one of them was the World Cup. So they've only been given one chance from that point of view 4 years ago, or whatever it was. This rain is getting a bit heavy, guys. Not moaning, just reporting. If you are just joining up, it is a bit of a quiet one this morning. Monday mornings are always a bit quiet. Sometimes they liven up, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just a nice stroll with not a lot going on. Overnight, there's some YouTube people that I watch, and someone commented on one of their videos. Thank you for the like, I do appreciate that. And I don't think it's necessarily nasty, but it was to the point that they basically said, you know, we've watched your channel, we like the wife, but the husband isn't for us. And they got really, really lambasted for it. And this is what I was sort of saying yesterday. It was such an interesting point, because I was talking about this yesterday. If you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And it is a really, really difficult one these days, because there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there. And this particular YouTuber, I watch a lot because they do go away a lot. And I like to research. And sometimes they go places where I would go. Genuinely, I can't stand the bloke. But because of the information gathering, you sort of just have to almost turn a blind eye to it as best you can. And I would never put comments in like that. That was just, I don't know why people, you know, you can think it, of course you can, but why find the time to type it and all that nonsense? I don't get it. Anyway, that's up to the people, isn't it, really? If that's what floats your boat. We've had it a couple of times on our channel. I've shut the people down, mostly on lives actually, where I've had it, and I've just shut the people down. So yeah, from my point of view, that's how I deal with it. I was playing a little bit with AI over the weekend. Now, I would never play around with it other than creating some headers for the YouTube channel, for the sort of intros and stuff. Not intros, the pictures that you see when you click on the video. I think that's the only thing I would use it for, because there's so many whys and wherefores with it. I don't understand half of it. I barely understand how to do what I did yesterday, but I understood you had to be very clear, very precise what you were asking it to do, and it did actually do quite a good job. And I've got a few ready for upcoming vlogs, so you'll see those. Come on. You'll see those in the future. But yeah, I was having a tinker around with that yesterday. Morning, Julian. How you doing this morning? I was just saying, before people started sort of coming on, we have got a bit of rain in the air this morning. As you can see, we don't have a sun rise picture or video this morning, because it is cloudy and quite cool actually, considering what we have had. So it's quite nice, because we are going to have some hotter weather later on in the week. Azra's just thinking about where she's going to go to the loo. Yeah, she's going now. So it's quite nice to have a bit of cool weather. And then we're supposed to get some rain towards the end of the week here in the UK. And then from that point of view, it will cool down dramatically next week before it starts to ramp back up again. So it's sort of almost like a week on, week off at the minute. That's sort of how it seems to be at the minute. But we could certainly do with the week that it was cooler, a lot of rain. As you can see, it's really brown now everywhere. Yeah, very well, thank you. Sorry, I didn't see those messages, those last few messages coming through. Just sorting out Azra. No, all good, thank you. It is a bit early that we're out today, but I got up at about 4:30. I just couldn't sleep, so I got up, did a few chores, did my lunch, started setting up for the live quite early, and it was 5 to 5, and I thought, bugger it, let's just go out, let's rock and roll. Mondays are a funny old day, as I said before many times. They either can be really, really busy or really, really dead, and to be fair, more often than not, they're really, really quiet. But I've already said that the lives, as we know them, will be on a break as of August. There will be some lives, but not from over here. We are on holiday a good proportion of August. And as such, I thought that was a good time. So we'll just have a bit of a holiday as well, just to sort of chill out and what have you. But there will be lives from where we're going on our holidays. Some the lovely Azra will be in, possibly some she won't be. Just have to wait and see. But yeah, we're very, very busy as a family. We're very, very busy as a family in August. So yeah, I just decided we were going to have a little break. There will still be all the shorts coming out every day, just to keep myself in the algorithm. I was really doing some research on this, and I know it sounds really sad. It is a hobby for me after all. But it is important, even if you're not sort of putting out proper vlogs every day, keep your channel in the algorithm. So that's why I still do what I do with the shorts. Come on, Azra, this way, straight on, good girl. And then when we do put some vlogs out, which will be, as I say, in August, we'll still be out of there. And of course, as I say, we'll be doing some lives from where we are. So don't worry, we will still be out and about, just not every morning at this time. As I say, only for the month of August. September it resumes, before we do have a little bit of a break at the end of September again. And then it will resume again early October. And then we really do have to think about lives with the light changing again. I made it work last year. We couldn't do this. We couldn't. Come on, lead on. We couldn't be doing. Azra, come on. We couldn't be doing this stroll at this time of the morning when the clocks change, unfortunately. But we have got a stroll that we can do around the village. As I say, we made it work, which was good. In fact, we've got a lot of subscribers during that period, so I think people quite like it. Sort of an early morning sort of wake up call, and maybe a bit of routine, and we chat about everything and nothing. And ultimately it's up to you guys, you know, what we talk about really. If people comment, we sort of get into it. If we don't, we just have to listen to me talking. It is a lot darker, I will say this to you guys, it is a lot darker than the camera is showing this morning. You know, we've been very blessed with blue skies and bright mornings. Well, this ain't that at all. It is a lot darker than it is showing on this camera. I almost felt like I needed to check my watch to make sure I hadn't come out an hour early. I know I haven't, but that's how it feels. It's so nice now they've cut all this back. They left it for far too long. I don't know whether this was the council or whether this was the volunteers. Probably the volunteers, because the council are as useful as trying a motorbike. I was thinking about doing a new header for the live strolls as well, using a bit of the old AI, but I'd have to have a tinker around with it because it's not like we're going anywhere. This is just our live stroll around the village. You can see how dark it is, guys, in comparison to what it has been when we go under this bridge. Come on, lead on. So yeah, I might have a little bit of a tinker around with that, but essentially it's quite difficult, isn't it? Like the ones I've done, and I won't spoil them because I think they look really cool, and I think they look amazing actually. And when I saw it, I thought to myself, you know, that's quite punchy. When people see it, it looks good. And we'll see, won't we? We'll see whether it takes us to the next little level with the channel. The channel just is growing weekly at the minute. You know, we're doing sort of 10 to 20 new subscribers every week. It's sometimes more, sometimes less, but it usually averages out around about 100 a month, give or take. So it's done all right. You know, mine is a very, very small channel, and as I've said many, many times before, this is a hobby for me. Whatever will be with it. A lot of what I do, the vlogs, I mean, not so much the lives in the mornings. I always look back on just to check them, but I'll never look back on in years to come. But the vlogs, they're a time capsule, aren't they? They're a memory. So whatever will be with the channel. If people watch them, fantastic. But essentially, it's something nice for us to look back on. And I've heard that before with YouTubers. Not so much the big ones, because that's probably a good proportion of their livings and earnings. Not for me. I don't have the time to do huge content creation. I just don't have the time. But when I do it, I like to give it full beans and make an effort. But also, I mean, I do it as if I'm doing it a family video. That's quite simple. Yeah, sometimes I might say, oh, hi guys, or refer to you guys. But essentially, I'm doing it as a family video and a time capsule. Of course, you can put everything on YouTube and set it as private, so no one sees it apart from yourselves. You can do that, and it is literally just a time capsule of your life. But no, it's quite nice to share. And I would say 99.9% of people appreciate what you do. There we go. But you can see completely how different it is over here, weather-wise, even to yesterday. We had a lovely breeze over here. I probably even commented on it. But Azra, no, come on, no. This complete sort of change. I mean, when I woke up, it was windy all day yesterday. I mean, honestly, it was so hot. I had the front and the back door open. most of the day yesterday, and it was like a little mini hurricane blasting through our house. It really was. Things are blown over. No. Things were blowing over everywhere, and this sort of wind breeze has sort of continued overnight. Put the aircon on briefly last night just to cool the room down, but it didn't stay on it stayed on probably for about 10 minutes, and then it went back off again, and we just had the windows open as we always do. When the aircon's off, but you could hear and feel the wind sort of wrapping through the house, and doors sort of moving around and what have you. So, but I'm not going to moan about it, guys, because it's nice for a morning to come out and actually not be absolutely sweaty Betty before you even start the day. It really is. Come on. Azra, wait. Good girl. Busy road. Right, let's go. This needs to be sorted out as well. Whether the volunteers will do this, I don't know. These are all paths that people use, and they really are being affected by the council's inability to sort it out. And it comes down, unfortunately, to they look quite pretty, don't they? Quite pretty. But usually we've got a sunset, haven't we? A sunrise here. Nothing. The drizzle has stopped, and I should have said that a while ago, to be fair. It has now stopped. Probably stopped about 10 minutes ago, to be fair. So it was short and forlorn, as they say. Okay. So we're now heading back towards the fourth and final field. Well, we'll go past Azra's horsey friends, then the fourth and final field. Meander our way through the science park, and then sort of start to head towards home. I was saying to you yesterday, the fun fair are in the village as of Thursday of this week. Now, I'm not quite sure when they'll be arriving, but when they do, that will restrict us really from using that field. There's nothing to say you can't, but I probably wouldn't. To be fair. Right, come on, Azra. James is a bit too big for that fair now, to be fair. He used to love going. But as with everything, two things. As with everything, they grow up, and little fairs like that also got to survive, but their prices have become so steep now in relation to what you get. It's the same fair that we've had coming here, or as long as we've been in the village. So we've been here now 12 years. 12 years? 12 years. I had to think then. And it hasn't changed an iota. Prices have, but it hasn't. Inflation, I hear you say. I agree, but not for something like that. The GGs are right by the fence this morning. Whether Azra would actually notice, or one of them is anyway, whether Azra would actually notice, I don't know. There he is, or she. I don't know if you can see just through the bush there, beyond the gate. He's having a good look at us. Come on, Azra, let's go. That woke you up, didn't it? Just make sure everything's all right, guys, still with alive. It's been a very quiet morning. This is what I keep saying about Mondays. Mondays are fast becoming a day that is probably not going to last moving into September after a little break, I don't think. It's really hard to judge it. I mean, I've sort of been looking at the numbers, and one week it'll be really high, another week it won't be, but mostly Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays are always a pretty decent number gone. But Mondays really continue to struggle, unfortunately. And the problem is, when you're doing it, is that there's only so much I can say and talk about. I rely on you guys to have a chat. Anyway, stuff that I need to think about moving forward, so I'm not going to let it worry me at the minute, but let's make the use of this field, because I think tomorrow and certainly Wednesday it'll be off limits. Come on, good girl. Grass is just, well, if we keep this weather up, what's it going to be like for the beginning of the new season of the football pitches? They're going to be like rocks, aren't they? Like playgrounds almost. Dread it. Probably happens every year, but I think this year's been highlighted more because we've broken so many heat records. Keep hearing some of the sort of elder family members sort of saying about the drought in 1976, I think it was, and people having to go to sort of pipes in the street to get their water and stuff like that. The last time there was a hosepipe ban in our village was 30 years ago. And I was saying this yesterday, that is almost 3/4 of my lifetime ago. So that is a hell of a time, actually, when you think about it. In fact, one of the neighbours came across yesterday to have a chat, and he couldn't remember the last time he had a hosepipe ban. Well, the oracle that is Julia, otherwise Little Ralphie, actually looked it up when we were out yesterday and we were talking about it, and that's how we knew. And that is quite unbelievable, to be honest with you. I think a lot of these lorries over there, you can see it out there, are the fairground, the beginnings of the fairground turning up. Looking at them, now I can see the one on the end there. So I think, come on Azra, let's go. I think this will pretty much be off limits as of tomorrow. That's how I feel. We'll see. As I say, they don't say you can't come in here. It's not definitively theirs. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, what we got? Good morning, little Ralphie. Fun Fair is coming to town and it's all here, as I was just saying. And it's a shame that this will pretty much be off limits now for the next week. We just have to find another little extension, won't we, Azra? I've already got it in my head what we'll do, so don't panic, team. We will do it. Just realised how big these things are. Jesus. Massive. And that's the ticket office. There you are, ticket office there. And that's the Dodgems lorry. That is the only thing I would come across and do. You can take out some real frustration on that. Maybe we will. Anyway, as I was saying, Mondays are fast becoming a quiet live day. So we'll have to look at that, as I say, as of September. Nice when you do have a chat with people and what have you, but I think if we've had 20 people across the whole live this morning, when normally you're getting sort of 300-400, it's not lots, is it? But we have had a chat about AI. Me having a little play with it yesterday. We've spoken about a comment that came up on Facebook, not about me, but about another YouTuber. And I said it yesterday before I even read this comment, and I read it as I got up this morning, and I'll say exactly the same again. If you cannot be nice, don't say anything at all. It really is that simple, in my opinion. Because whatever you might think of a person, a lot of effort goes into their content. These particular people, I do agree, as I've said earlier on, and I don't want to hark on about it, he is quite overpowering and drives me nuts. However, I wouldn't put it in writing, you know. You just don't have to watch, do you? And some of their latest stuff, unless it interests me what they're doing, I don't watch it anymore. Because it just doesn't interest me. Which is a shame, because I would have watched it religiously, to be fair. Anyway, just remember, when people make content, there's a lot of effort that goes into it in the background. So if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. If you do want to watch it, watch it. Just don't say horrible things if you do watch it, because you've made that choice, haven't you? So, and every time there's negative comments, remember, that's feeding the channel anyway. So you are, by nature, feeding their channel. So if you don't want to say something, don't say it. Easy, isn't it? Anyway, that's my opinion. I'll stick with it. So we are getting towards the end now, guys, of our little light stroll this morning. Normally I would end it on a nice sunrise video, wouldn't it, or a picture, but we certainly aren't going to get that this morning. We've had a bit of rain this morning when we came out at the start. Quite windy, but it's all quite nice. 14 degrees, it's a nice cool temperature this morning for our little stroll. But as you know, if you've been with me, when we get to the end of this little path, when we're videoing, we have to do a right which takes us right through the spine of the science park. I have a feeling we might be joined by little Ralphie. No, she is saying she smells rain. Well, we had rain when I came out, not a lot, it was just drizzling quite finely. Whether it will come to any more than that, it's in the air, but I don't think significant, to be fair. Come on, Azra, lead on. Azra. But yeah, we've got no blue sky this morning, guys. Cloud, bit of rain, nice breeze, 14 degrees, very welcome. Got the pigeons here, minding their own business. I think I see little Ralphie up there. I think I've seen Julia, I think Azra's seen little Ralphie and Julia. They're obviously using the bin. Did you see little Ralphie? Did you see little Ralphie? I saw him. He's obviously got Julia up, because Julia would never be up at 25 to 6 in the morning. So he's obviously been dancing around like a little loon to have got Julia up. Here they come, behind the bush there, on our left. They're going to appear through the gap. And Azra has clocked it. Waggy tail. Here they are. Oh God, mad dog. I did see the front door go, but I wasn't sure if it was that wretched plant again. I told you guys, didn't I? I told you guys. That is the only reason we are being blessed with Julia this morning. Go on, go on, go on. Well, it didn't help that Azra nicked his chew.
Oh.
So I think he was in a bit of a grump. Oh, okay, well, there you go. Swings and roundabouts. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call this one a day. Have a great Monday. And we will resume on Wednesday. No live tomorrow, no live Thursday. Azra says goodbye. Ralphie's... Oh, God, I'm going to trip over. Ralphie's going to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, little Ralphie's saying goodbye as well, a.k.a. Julia. Excellent. Team...